Alright, if I didn't review a film, it's probably because I didn't watch it. I didn't know I didn't really see a lot of these films. I thought I had pretty much seen them all, but there were a lot of films that I really avoided. And now I'm kind of sorry, but if I avoided them, it's probably because they weren't really good or I really didn't feel like watching them. Like the Chronicles of Narnia, I didn't feel like watching because I've heard it was bad. The Harry Potter film, the only reason I haven't seen that one is because I actually want to see it with the other part, because it makes a lot more sense to watch it like that if it's from one book and was just cut in half and was never really meant to be apart. So, for that reason, I haven't watched that one. Toy Story, I don't really have an excuse for not watching that one. I've heard the ending's kind of sad, and I have this image of the childhood Toy Story as a very happy ending, really good. The second one being really good, all of it pretty much upbeat, and I don't want to see that ruined. So, the last part I want to put in this film is the best film of 2010 and the worst film I saw in 2010. So, here's my best. The best film of 2010, in my opinion, is Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was the best film of 2010. I can't think of a single movie that I enjoyed more in 2010. That's all I've got to say. The closest was probably Kick-Ass. I've heard a lot of people complain about the first 30 minutes of it and being too slow. Honestly, I enjoyed it. It was the pace felt fine. I read the comic books after I watched the movie, and I enjoyed how faithful they were for the first book, but then they kind of went off. But I could understand why the movie would have been like 10 times longer if they had stayed completely faithful. Plus, the movie was being made at the same time that the last book was being made, and so the endings were almost impossible to have exactly the same. Ooh, I hate this headset. The film overall was amazing. I love the little references to video games and the sound effects. I enjoyed the music. The music was awesome. I especially loved the Black Sheep song. I know that we reviewed the video game with the video game masters, Mark and Johnny Rodriguez, and the game was mediocre at best. It really is a game that you need to take time and play, and not try to run through it in 1 minute. Oh, but I'm getting sidetracked here. The film was gorgeous. It was made by the same guy who did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I've watched parts of Shaun of the Dead and I enjoyed that a lot. Hot Fuzz was a very good movie. I enjoyed it, even though a lot of people didn't. I really can't believe that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World did bad in the box offices, but just goes to show you Kick-Ass did bad too. And those were probably my two favorite films of 2010. And, well, I really think you should check out Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, then go watch Kick-Ass. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. The worst film of 2010 was definitely My Soul to Take. It's a film by the same guy who created A Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven. And I saw it in 3D because that was the only option I had. There was no way I wanted to see it in 3D. I didn't want to pay extra money just to see things popping out at me while I'm watching a horror film. I honestly thought that was a bad idea. And it was a horrible idea. Oh, God. This whole story about a guy and his soul separating and going into children, and now one of them's the part of his soul that's a killer and has to kill all the other souls, and one of the kids' souls has the power to take the other souls into them once they've died and keep them. It made no fucking sense. And watching a horror movie in 3D is a horrible idea. You get a sense of perspective on how close they are, and when it's a horror film, that's just a bad, because jump scares are easy to tell because of that. I really don't know why they thought it was a good idea to make this movie in 3D. I don't know why they thought it was a good movie to begin with. Wes Craven, I think you might be losing your touch here. I'm just saying. It was an awful movie. Go fuck yourself. So yeah, that's what I think about the movies of 2010. Yes, I did a lot of fucking cursing. I can fucking curse, okay? I'm not a fucking 8-year-old. No, I don't care if they do it. It's got nothing to do with them, so just deal with it. Well, this is my plan B. I think with these glasses, I should be able to get another me into this dimension, and then my whole plan. I sound like I'm trying to take over the world here. Wow, I don't like these. Well, it's better. Still a little bit fuzzy if you ask me. Well, I should be able to be getting them soon enough, I hope. Just give me a few more seconds. Well, I'm trying to separate the invisible veils between dimensions pretty much. That's the easiest way of putting it. No, I don't want a sandwich. Wait, just hold on. I think I've got something right. Note to self. Screwing with the veils of space and time is a bad idea when you don't know what the hell you're doing. Well, I got sent to the past. You know what? It's better if I just link you right here so that you know where I went. But on the bright side, going back in time gave me enough time to make these. And with these, I should, in theory, be able to bring another me into this world. Or send myself so much back in time that I'm going to never return. Oh, fuck me.